Okay, so, when you think about drug trafficking, you probably picture, like dark alleys and speedboats, right? The
Right.
stuff you see in movies.
Yeah, classic undercover sting operation.
Exactly. But what's happening in Kerala right now is actually kind of surprising. It's happening out in the open, basically. We're talking trains, regular courier services, like the stuff we use every day,
Right under our noses.
basically. And it's not just like a small time thing either. The amount of narcotics moving through these systems, it's significant. I mean, we've got reports and data that really highlight just how big of a problem it's become. So what we want to do in this deep dive is understand the scale of it all.
Yeah, get into the nuts and bolts.
Exactly. How it's happening, who's doing it, and what's being done to stop it. And by the end, you'll have a way better picture of what's going on without feeling like you just, read a police report.
Yeah, no one wants that.
So to jump right in, the thing that really strikes me is how bold it all is. Like they're using these everyday systems that were never meant for this kind of thing, you know?
It's pretty audacious, and it shows a real understanding of the weaknesses in these systems, right?
Yeah.
I mean, trains, courier services,
Yeah.
they're designed for speed and efficiency, not for, you know, stopping criminals.
Yeah, you're totally right. And the numbers really back that up. So in 2024, authorities in Kerala, they seized 559 kilograms of drugs on trains. That's like a huge amount, right?
That's a serious red flag.
Right. But then you look at just January and February of this year, so like 2 months, and they've already seized 421 kilograms.
So in 2 months, they're already at almost 75% of last year's total.
Exactly. It's like they've just kicked it into overdrive. I even saw one report that described it as traffickers using careless trains like it's Amazon Prime.
Wow. That's a powerful image, like it's just another delivery system for them.
That's exactly what it is. It's routine, it's efficient, and it's scary effective.
Yeah. And that kind of efficiency, it's just there's a pretty sophisticated network behind it all, right? Like they've got the logistics down pat.
Yeah, and the RPF, the Railway Protection Force, they've basically said that the high passenger volumes and less strict luggage checks, those are major factors.
It makes sense though, right? You blend in with a crowd. It's hard to keep track of everyone. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but the haystack is constantly moving.
Exactly. So it's a tough challenge for law enforcement, but they're not just sitting back and doing nothing. The RPF has already made 31 arrests this year.
Which is probably just a fraction of the people involved.
Right. But they've also got this multi-layered enforcement plan that's already in action, so things are happening.
Yeah. A multi-pronged approach is really the only way to go here. You can't just rely on one thing. And when you look at what they're doing, it's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, like what kind of stuff are they doing specifically?
So they're installing surveillance cameras at all the major stations, which is obviously a big help. And then they've got people monitoring those feeds 24/7.
Okay, so eyes on the ground or eyes on the screens, I guess.
Right. Then they're doing random luggage checks, which might be a pain for regular travelers, but, it's got to be done.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, right?
Exactly. And they've got sniffer dogs at major transit points, which are apparently really effective. Dogs have amazing noses.
Yeah, those dogs are like super sniffers. But the thing that I thought was really interesting is that they're tracking ticket bookings from people who've been convicted of drug offenses in the past.
Oh, wow. That's smart. So they're using data to try and predict who might be involved.
Yeah, it's all about being proactive.
It is. And if it's done ethically and effectively,
Right.
it can be a powerful tool. I mean, it's not about targeting people unfairly. It's about identifying potential risks.
Yeah, exactly. And it shows that they're taking this seriously, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But, trains aren't the only way they're moving these drugs. They've also started using courier services a lot, especially the ones that aren't as regulated.
So it's like if the train is their Amazon Prime, then these courier services are their secret back channels.
Way to fly under the radar. And in the first 2 months of this year, they seized over 50 kilograms of ganja that was being smuggled through courier services.
And that's just what they caught. It makes you wonder how much is actually getting through.
It does. And the problem is that with these courier services, there's just not as much oversight. They're not checking every package that goes through.
Yeah, I read this quote from an excise official that really sums it up. He said, "These illegal courier services are a dream come true for drug traffickers. No paperwork, no tracking, just an envelope full of problems."
Wow. He doesn't mince words.
No, he doesn't. But it's true, right? It's the perfect system for them. It's fast, it's discreet, and it's hard to track.
And it really highlights a gap in our system. Like, we need to figure out how to regulate these less formal delivery networks.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got trains and we've got courier services both being used to move drugs. So what's the plan? How do we stop this?
Well, the good news is that all the different law enforcement agencies are working together. So you've got the RPF, the GRP, the Excise Department, the local police. They're all sharing information and coordinating their efforts.
Okay, so teamwork is key here.
Absolutely. And they've made it clear that their focus is on taking down the whole network, not just catching the small-time carriers.
Yeah, they're going after the big fish.
They are. And that's the only way to really make a difference. You got to disrupt the supply chain and go after the organizers, the people at the top.
It's got to be a long-term strategy, right?
Oh, for sure. This
Yeah.
isn't something that's going to go away overnight. As the authorities adapt, the traffickers will adapt too. It's a constant cat and mouse game.
It's a really complex problem. But to kind of sum it all up, what we're seeing in Kerala is that drug trafficking is becoming more and more embedded in our everyday lives.
Yeah, it's not some far-off problem anymore. It's happening on the trains we ride and through the packages we get delivered.
And while the authorities are doing what they can to fight back, it's clear that this is going to be an ongoing battle.
Yeah, vigilance is key. We can't let our guard down.
Exactly. And it really makes you think you know. Like next time you're at a train station or getting a package delivered, just think about all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
The things we don't see.
Exactly. And it's a little bit unsettling, isn't it? Like these systems that we rely on every day, they can be used for good or for bad.
It's a reminder that there's always more going on than meets the eye.
That's a good way to put it. There's always more going on than meets the eye.
And it's up to all of us to stay informed and stay aware.
Well said. Okay, so that's it for our deep dive this week.
Until next time.